I have joining me the CEO, PRO24 Risk Management and a fellow Nigerian Institute of Industrial Security, Onyekachi Adekoya. He joins me via Zoom from the United Kingdom. Good to have you join us. So, two attempts on assassination attempts on former President Donald Trump's life in just about 3 months. I mean, what does this tell you about the security and safety of presidential candidates in the U.S.?
We live in a period of political unrest where sentiments and emotions are somewhat elevated. I mean, 2 attempts in just barely 3 months doesn't really, in terms of security preparedness, doesn't really give you much. It's an attempt. You didn't succeed. I mean, the first instance, the spotters on the roof, yes, you can argue that after 3 shots rang out, successfully eliminated the threat. In this instance, the Secret Service had increased the personnel. There was an advance party. I think from the reports we've gotten, there were layers and rings of protection around the president, and the layer did work in this instance. You know, there's hysteria about the report. Investigations are still ongoing. All that we know is that a would-be shooter was spotted with a rifle, and this time spotted early, apprehended and arrested. It doesn't say so much. I mean, for American presidents, we've had at least 4 American presidents assassinated. The most popular one we know is John F. Kennedy. And again, if you look at, I think 3 out of the 4 assassinations of American presidents, about 7% of these assassinations are really engendered by some form of political sentiment or some agitation. I mean, one of, I think it's 1901, the assassination was because some parties were still angry over the actions that happened during the Confederation Wars. So America is in that point where tensions are a bit high, and these attempts are expected. The FBI also expects it. The U.S. Secret Service expects it. It doesn't say this or that about the presidential candidates. We must remember that America is a place where you have a lot of guns in circulation. It just means that the threat is heightened. It doesn't say anything about this person or that person, if you ask me.
Security has been beefed up around that golf course and his residence, but that's just because of this particular incident. He's a former president and doesn't get the same level of security detail as a sitting president would. Many are now calling for a reevaluation of his security. Considering what has happened in the last 3 months, do you agree with that call?
Yes, I would like to correct the point that while he does not get the same level of security as a sitting president, he still gets security as a former president. Now, he then gets security additional as the potential president going through the election, because, I mean, if you look at the polls, it's either between Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. So there's enough investment in security that is required and being provided. I do agree that the postmortem will be done, and then an assessment will be made whether or not additional security is needed. Well, now, the protection ring did not fail. It did its job. The would-be shooter was spotted, and the threat was dealt with immediately. And so I think when the investigation is concluded, then I think whoever has the judgment will make the decision whether to increase or decrease or maintain what Donald Trump currently has. The other major decision that must be made must be now by the presidential candidate himself, Donald Trump, whether to then take cognizance of the threat out there and adjust some of his meetings, his rallies, or where he holds his rallies, outdoors or indoors. And that decision must now be made by the campaign office. But as we know, politicians are the same one. I would think that if we understand the person properly, he may be thinking that this would not stop him. As we saw during the first attempt, immediately when he was covered, he put up his face and was claiming that people should fly. So sometimes VIPs so duplicate protection around them. So we wait to see what happens, what the assessment is, and how the evolution is reached, and one adjustment they have to make. So just wait to see.
All right, thank you so much for your time. Always a pleasure to have you on the fellow Nigerian Institute of Industrial Security and CEO PR24 Risk Management, Oyekachi Adekoya.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's turn attention to Europe, where Germany has expanded border control measures with the crossings to all 9 of its